basically we were like, well, what do we do? I mean, so we would go to like all the places where there was press about Google, and we would like comment about our project in like the, in the blog post, and we'd be like, hey, you should also check out this, like, And then we actually went to a Google event where they I guess like they skydived into the thing or whatever, and like we were handing out flyers about our Indiegogo project.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So I mean, like we're like we're entrepreneurs. So like part of being entrepreneurs, you just have to hustle.
Hustle.
And you can't let like some big
some big company called Google.
You can't let them like scare you or something, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how you fail. Like you just have to keep pushing forward and keep like like just the most important thing is to like stay true to the passion of why you're doing it, and like keep that like that underlying motivation about what you're building and like how amazingly great it could be. And for us, it's the ability to enhance people, to make them smarter, to like give them capabilities that they've never had before. And like as the project moves forward, with more and more versions, like right now, people have the ability by wearing our glasses to like capture their memories and like be able to go back and access them later. And it's just such a great thing. And as we move forward, like integrating, say, like gesture controls, and then, so you could, like it's going to start to give people, I think, what would previously be called like superpowers, right? You know what I mean? But it's real technology.
Yeah,
so, so those are the kind of things that we're really interested in building, and like what drives us forward.
How much did you raise?
So on Indiegogo, we had a goal of 50,000, and we raised 70,000 USD, and then we then took that, and it was kind of cool because Indiegogo is still like they're getting a lot more popular now, and I'm really happy for those guys.
Yeah.
At that time, it was still like relatively few number of projects that had raised like over 100,000, and there was like one that raised like 400,000 or something. And so at that particular time, we actually made the top 10. Highest earning Indiegogo project. So we're like, we're number 10. Like literally, like I remember looking at the list and refreshing it as our project was finishing and going, we made number 10, And so that was pretty cool. We then took that and we started approaching investors. And so part of the strategy that we had, which I think could work for a lot of entrepreneurs, is, work really hard, build your product concept, then go on to crowdfunding. Like get buy-in from a number of people, right? So you kind of prove that like there's enough people out there that want to support. I mean, I was calling all my family members and like, hey, you should buy some, But I think my mom bought like, like 3 pairs or something.
So you did pre-sales on Indiegogo.
Yeah. So it's technically it's crowdfunding. So technically it's not like
it's a gift. It's a perk.
Pre-sales.
Yeah, it's a perk.
But yeah,
based on a contribution.
Yeah, so our perk were the glasses, right? And so that's what we're manufacturing right now and getting prepared to send out to all of our backers. And so like we're taking that very seriously.
That's
so we went into approaching investors after that, and like we could say in our presentation, that we were like one of the top 10 highest earning Indiegogo projects.
Because you want to leverage anything like that, because that is actually a pretty significant accomplishment, what I mean? And I think people misconceive that like it's not that easy to raise $70,000 anywhere or anything, and basically you're asking people to blindly kind of support you, and yes, maybe they like the product or maybe, but who knows what's going to happen, right? So that's kind of an accomplishment. You want to advertise that. So okay, so you started talking to investors, and so then all of a sudden it's like an actual real business, and you're now in manufacturing, which by the way, just from like my experience, a lot of investors don't really like hardware or when there's an actual component. So how did you overcome that hurdle, and what has been the response? And I think you part of the story that you're going to tell is pitching one of the top PCs in the valley. So would love to hear that. So tell us a little bit about those kind of steps as far as things you went through along the way.
I mean, I think the best thing to remember is like there's investors for every segment, right? I mean, like markets wouldn't exist if there wasn't capital being put into like creating the next version of those. We also see this product as it's a convergence of hardware, software, and design, right? It's kind of like the power of technology meets the refinement of stylish design, right? And so that's what we're really going for. It's one of our underlying like statements that we make internally a lot. And then it was actually, I feel like we're very fortunate. So we had our initial meetings and like basically signed like the first several investors just like, I mean, it just seemed like too easy. So I don't like, that isn't the experience. And then after that, we went and we built team, right? And so like.